Welcome back, listeners and athletes. We are super excited to get rolling with this fourth, kind of fifth. We did an introduction of these main 4 points that help you build your basketball IQ. And we've talked about awareness, we've talked about anticipation, we've talked about decision speed and the ability to make decisions quicker. And today we're going to talk about one of our favorites, which is communication. And man, do we have a lot of thoughts on this, but we are going to keep it simple and concise. But this is a game changer. And I really think you could put this before some of the other ones because when you communicate, your awareness, your anticipation, and your decision speed improves, which we're going to talk about today. But there's a reason we put this last because it's going to combine these all together. And we're excited to talk about that. So, we're going to talk just briefly, and I want you to think about this. I'm going to read you a quote, but I want you to really think about it. You can have all the skill in the world, but if you don't communicate, you cap your impact. I don't know. I've thought about that all week as I've been looking at this outline and kind of thinking about communications. This is one of my favorite quotes because I personally am not somebody that communicates more when I'm stressed. I actually turn more inside, which is a weakness sometimes. But I've also realized how that impacts us on a court and in life. If we don't communicate and know how to express how we feel or talk about what we see and learn, you actually turn inward, and that's not a healthy solution all the time. Can it be sometimes? Yes, but not all the time. And communication is going to be the key factor to help you stay positive, to stay engaged, to be a part of your team that will make all the difference. And when I get frustrated, a lot of times I have to be in truth with myself that usually my communication is not where it needs to be.
Communication takes a lot of self-work because we have to be the ones to decide to open our mouths. And I think about it like in a basketball sense, like we love to talk. I was told our favorite thing to talk about is ourselves. And so, um, and I think it's funny because we do like to share our wins, we do like to do all that stuff, but like for some reason, when we get on any playing court, like basketball, volleyball, softball, baseball, tennis, wherever and whenever sport facility, arena, whatever, like we go mute. The way you can start to build communication in the small and simplest form is, at least for me, was saying thank you and being grateful for the things that I had in my life. And one of my coaches said, as you become more grateful and tell more people thank you, they'll start talking to you more. Or they'll start to like pay attention to you more, or like they kind of expect you to say thank you. And it just becomes a habit. And I think like we had a big podcast and we talked a lot about gratitude. So please go back and listen to that because gratitude is going to fuel you towards success. And if you can say thank you for holding the door open to someone who's held the door open for you, really easy. They'll probably say, yep, and you just keep going on through your day. But guess what? You opened your mouth. Or you say thank you to your teachers. Thank you for teaching me that 2 + 2 = 4. Your teachers will be like, what? But they'll be like, you're welcome. But like you're genuine about it. And so think about how you can show gratitude towards your teammates. Thank you for calling the screen so I didn't get rammed. Thank you for passing the ball to me because I was wide open and that's my shot and I drained it. So thank you for passing me the ball. And then for like people like when timeouts, like there's people that probably fill up your water bottles for you. Thank you for filling up my water. Go to your coach. Thank you for the game plan today. Thank you for the practice. Thank you for bringing the cookies. Or for your parents, thank you for picking me up and dropping me off at practices in school if you don't drive. Or thank you, Mom, for cooking dinner for me tonight, right? There's so many things that we can be grateful for where we can start opening our mouths. And as we start to open our mouths and communicate, like we start to become louder. We start to have opinions about things and we start to be someone that people can rely on. And I think deep down, I think all of us have that desire or want to help people be better, to better ourselves. But if we're not willing to open our mouths in the first place, how can we share the goodness that we have inside of us? Think about how you can be a leader on the court and off the court, and how you can be a vocal commander. You don't necessarily have to have the loudest voice or be the loudest voice in the gym. But when you can communicate, you can have a positive impact on people. And what eventually happens is you start to win more games and it becomes a lot more fun. So think about that. And I always say to my players, a quiet gym is a losing gym. So if you want to keep on losing, just keep on being quiet. But if you want to win, start yapping.
Yeah, we want you to become that elite team that wins and that does well. And it is a connected team, which happens through communication. And if you're not communicating, you're not going to be the team you want to be. So remember, communication isn't optional, it's a must. To be a good team, you have to step up and be a leader and communicate and talk even when you don't want to, as part of being that person. So why does communication matter? Well, there's a lot of things and we're going to try to keep it simple today because there's a lot we could teach you. But when you really break down communication, it's sharing information. Whatever that information is, you're sharing something. You're solving problems in real time and you're helping your teammates see what they may not be able to see. What made me a better player was my teammates who had my back, who communicated things. I played a man to man defense growing up a lot. When we'd run a 2-3, sometimes I would be up on top, sometimes I'd be on a wing. But I was always grateful for those posts and my teammates who said, watch screen right, watch screen right, watch the roll, watch, the skip pass. They made all the difference and it made me better because it helped me anticipate what was coming. And as I've started playing and continue to play, and I play in different positions, I've tried to do that in return because there's nothing worse than getting slammed against the screen and being like, oh, my arm's dead. I can't do anything. Those hurt. But how much cooler is it when you can get through it because your teammate had your back and communicated what they could see? So it's being aware. And remember, basketball is too fast to play silently. This is a sport that moves and changes positions, and a lot happens that when you're quiet, it almost has that eerie feeling in the gym. It doesn't feel right. A gym is meant to have the noise and have that team camaraderie and the crowd cheering for you. Just like the crowd and your teammates on the bench communicate energy and noise and loudness, you communicate that back by how you play, body language, and what you're communicating to your team. Remember, when we talk about communication, there's a lot of things that come when you do it. It speeds up your decision making. It actually reduces your errors because you're on the same page. There's verbal and nonverbal communication, and we're talking about both of them today. But you've got to remember those have to happen for your team to flow and work well. It builds trust because you might be thinking a teammate hates you or that they said something or you dislike each other. Well, have you ever actually talked to that person and worked that out? Have you ever asked them? Is that an uncomfortable conversation? Yes, but you actually could work things out quite well by asking that person, like, hey, is there something going on? Like, that's a hard conversation, but at the same time, how much peace of mind would you have if you think this teammate and this person hates you and they're talking behind your back and you actually have a communication with them and you realize it's fake? That was drama spread by other people. That diffuses a lot of stress in your own life and builds that trust and rapport with your teammates. It also can raise your team IQ like instantly. That if you want to get your team IQ better, it's communicating. Hold yourself and your teammates to that standard. Talking isn't just about being loud, it's about being useful and helpful. Remember those useful and helpful communications. Doesn't have to be a lot, but can they hear you? And is it good information for your teammates?
I think about the players on the bench. Like, are you guys talking and are you involved in the game as well? Or are you having your side conversations with your friend on the bench? If you can talk to your teammates, you can call out screens, you can count down like on the shot clock, like how many of your teams count down when it hits 10. The more we can be loud and yes, we can cheer and do all of our fun stuff on the bench, but we can also be communicating the plays. Like our coach calls a play, you'd be like motion, and then you can like do motion back out. So that way everybody knows because sometimes you have those gyms that are really loud and the guard is like, what? Like, I can't hear you because maybe your coach is a little bit quieter, but she has the whole bench to back her up. So, like, back up your coach, show that support. And it doesn't have to be big or loud or crazy. Communicating shows that you care. Um, and there's a thing that, like, my niece always says. She's like, sharing is caring. And so think about that. Your teammate may have not heard what we're doing, but you share it and you care. And so let's kind of jump into a basketball mindset of like um how we can communicate better. So like on defense, we can communicate by calling out screens, calling switches, or if we're staying, helping, are we in help? Are we helping early? Are we taking that second step? Are we talking through rotations? making sure we're bumping the cutter, all those things. And then in transition, like pointing and directing people where to go. Do we know who we're guarding? Are you calling out, I have 12, I have 23, I have 42, whatever, letting people know that you have this person, and it's not we get down, turn around and be like, who am I guarding? Calling for the ball, calling shot, or let it go, whatever it is. Help, I'm in help. Talking is beautiful. And it also helps us, like, again, awareness on the court. If you have people talking, you can better anticipate and be aware of where people and places are going to happen. And the last thing is on offense. We can help people spread out because sometimes, like when we're in the younger divisions, we like to hold hands still, and we are not like spread out the way we need to spread out. Like we can take that 3 seconds, take that 3 second pause, hold the ball, and direct traffic. So we can say, make sure you spread out, everyone. Like we're in 5 out, spread out. And then you can run through your play, letting teammates know that they're open. Be like, cut. Some of us have better court awareness than others do, and we can see plays when they're going to happen. So we can push our teammates and be like, go, run, or sprint, and they can get that wide open layup in a transition. But if we're not communicating, telling our teammates, run, or get back, or whatever it is, we can lose that opportunity to score. And then we can also like direct people, tell people where to go. And a lot of it isn't about like being demanding or bossy to your teammates. It's helping your teammates. And hopefully you have a good relationship with your teammates where they know you're not coming off as bossy. You're there to help them. You're there for the common purpose to win and to play and to have fun. On the screen, this is Kevin Garnett. He's one of the best communicators in the NBA when he was playing. He was a post player, so he could see everything because he was on the bottom and he was pointing people like, you got to cut here, like you got to push. And he like literally pushed his teammates to get out and guard people because he wanted to win. He was so competitive, and he would let you know if you did something wrong, he'd get in your face. But sometimes we have to have those people on the court who are going to be in your face telling you what to do. And at times you may have to be that person to open your mouth to tell people what to do. There's so many benefits of this, like communication, like it reduces the mistakes. We have to build that trust. And the only way we can build trust is if we open our mouth and have those conversations. It helps with your decision making, and it raises your team's IQ. Just like that. By saying cut or ball or shot. It doesn't have to be a full sentence. It can just be a 1-syllable word. The key phrase that you have probably heard your coaches say over and over and over again. And if they don't, then my guess is it's probably coming down the pipeline somewhere. But remember, if you see it, you say it.
Hopefully you see it.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I've been working on awareness and anticipation. So you
Yeah.
have it. I was thinking about coaching and players' feedback and how a lot of players do not like when a coach doesn't talk to them or give them feedback. Right? If you had a coach that was just silent and didn't tell you anything, I was worried as a player, like, why aren't they saying anything? What did I do wrong? Because I think it shows a lack of their care and investment in you. When they're teaching you and telling you things, it's not to criticize you and to pull you down and demean you, it's to teach you. And the way we do that is through communication. But you have to realize this goes two ways. If your coach is asking you questions and trying to get feedback and you're silent, what are you telling your coach? You don't care. You're not engaged. You're not present. You're not where your feet are. You are thinking of other things. Maybe it's your lack of coachability. And you might not even truly intend that. It really might just be you don't like to talk. But do you see how important this is to go both ways? When a coach challenges you or you're asked, you need to be able to communicate. And if you don't know what to say, let them know that. Don't just stay silent and like shrug your shoulders or roll your eyes at them. Make sure you're communicating what message you really want to send, because this will be really important in your progress. So, how does communication build your IQ? Right? We've talked about communication. Well, our whole build series and all of these podcasts and videos have been focusing on these areas to build your IQ. Well, how it works is when you communicate, you build your awareness. It actually forces you to be aware of what's going on because you got to say it to somebody else. Accountability, which is huge. It sharpens your anticipation. You can anticipate a little bit more because then you're like, oh, I already saw that because I'm already communicating it. And then it helps you make better decisions. It improves your decision making individually and as a team. And remember, like when you communicate, I love what Shalyse said is if you see it, you say it. Because if you're doing that, you're having to stay present. You're not focusing on the ice cream trip with your family after the game, or I get to go on a trip next week and go on vacation. It keeps you present. You have to stay engaged. And it makes you read the floor constantly, right? If I am not doing that as a coach, I'm not going to be able to help you to beat a team. Have to be aware of that. This is going to help you do that. It also trains your leadership habits because someday when you're a parent or you are over a certain team and have a leadership position, or even in your family now, can you communicate with them? I promise a lot of problems are solved with communication. And when we lack that, it's really a struggle. So remember, a high IQ player does not wait to be told what to do. They're the ones speaking up and telling others. So you see it, say it. And if you're not seeing it, you better work on seeing it so you can start to say it to your teammates and those around you.
I love this, like, don't wait to be told. I think about, like, when we're growing up and, like, our mom was like, "Don't forget to do the dishes," or "Don't forget to clean your room." You already know you gotta do the dishes, and you already know you gotta clean your room, and it kinda, like, sets you off a little bit, like, you're like, "Ugh, don't tell me that," or whatever it is, but it's like, are you gonna just go do it, or are you gonna wait for somebody to tell you what to do? Like, that's like in any situation, like with work, like, are you gonna show up on time, or do you need to be told to show up on time? With school, like, are you gonna turn your assignment in early, or are you gonna wait for your teacher to be like, "Okay, please collect. I'm ready to collect my assignments." A lot of it is, like, all online now, like, you can submit it. You don't have to submit it at the deadline, like, you have time to submit it before. Like, a lot of the times we wait to be told and then we react negatively. Where if we're trying to increase positivity, like, just do the dang thing. Just do it. Like, open your mouth and just do it. And, like, this is more like silent communication in your body language. And your body language can sometimes be more loud or even louder than what's actually coming out of your mouth. And so we have to be aware of, like, how we're reacting when we get pulled out of a game or when we make a mistake or whatever may happen. The image that just came into my head as we're talking about it's an Instagram video, and it's about a basketball team, and one it's like a super tight game. The game is tied, and he misses a wide open layup. Wide open. And automatically his head goes down, and one of his teammates comes up, grabs his chin, and, like, puts his head up, and, and he's like, "Keep your head up. Like, you're fine. Everybody misses a wide open layup every once in a while, but that's not the end of the game. If you hang your head down, that means you quit and you're done and there's no hope. But if you keep your head held high, you have the opportunity to go get a steal, to make that play up on defense, get a steal and go dunk it next time." Whatever it may be, but we have to be aware of how we're communicating and how we're portraying our emotions, and our emotions play big into our body language. And so we have to make sure we acknowledge how we're feeling and don't suppress those feelings, because eventually, as we keep on suppressing, you're gonna blow up on someone and they're gonna be like, "What in the world?" Find a person that you trust to open up to have conversations about life, about basketball, about school, about work, about family, whatever it may be. Like, find your person, because then that way it becomes healthier and you're not all balled up, and then years down the road you have to go to therapy to figure out how to communicate with people and work through all your emotions. If you can start now, the better it is, and you'll be able to help people in the future. This, like, ties all together, but, like, we have to be okay with opening our mouth and being okay to make mistakes. We live in a world where no matter what you say is gonna offend someone some way, shape, or form. No matter what it is. Even if it's super positive, it can come off and rub off on someone and be super negative for them. But as you come off with good intentions, most people will read it for what it is. And you'll be able to share who you are and share the goodness that you have. And then you can share that with your teammates. And then your teammates, like it says, is like, you'll become a better leader. You'll become a better teammate. You'll become a more reliable person in the workforce. But, like, that does not happen unless you're willing to open your mouth and stop communicating through this. Face-to-face communication is what is going to help you become more elite on and off the court.
Yeah. So as we kind of tie this all together and share what we're going to invite you to do, I want you to think about a couple things. Remember, violence hurts your team, whether that's in body language or your verbal communication. Pay attention to how you're communicating to your teammates. Remember, leadership is an action, it's not a title. So if you think you're a true leader, do your actions show it, because if they don't, you're a fake leader. You're not a real leader. It's by your actions that you become a leader. And remember, your coaches are going to trust somebody who talks and communicates well. You want to get on the better side with your coach or your teachers or your parents, communication is going to be the key. It really will make all the difference as you're able to communicate that. So quiet teams react late, loud teams react early. Let's react early, like Shalyse said, in everything. Get on top of those things that will avoid you having to have those triggers come at you because you're already on top of things.
Your weekly invitation or challenge is going to be every time you get on the court, so at practice, scrimmages, games, or whatever it is, commit to calling out the screens. If you're open in the corner, make sure you're like, I'm open, I'm open, I'm open, whatever it is. Communicating switches, directing teammates in transitions. But we need to track it because if we're not tracking things, we don't know where we're at or how we can progress to become more elite. And so, like, count how many verbal calls you make per game or practice. And you can go back and watch the game film. Like, challenge yourself to go to the game film and see if you can hear yourself on the film, especially if you play sophomore and JV, because your gyms are really quiet. They don't have all the people coming in yet. So you can probably hear yourself. So if you can hear yourself, that's a win. And if you can't, then that may be a problem where you can increase your number for the next game. Write down that number and go for it. And so, like, the challenge is to like beat your number. Be intentional, not random. Don't just talk when you feel like you want to talk. Talk all the time. Be the person known for being the yapper on the team. Who can call out the most screens? Who can talk the most? Who can be the loudest? It can be fun and it can be competitive. But we want you to be aware, like, are you communicating? And also pay attention to your body language. When you watch game film, like, and you miss a shot, how is your body language? Are your shoulders down? Is your head down? Or is it up and you're attacking and trying to get your missed shot and your rebound and go back up? Or like if you get nailed or if you do a turnover or whatever happens, like, what's your body language? How are your teammates communicating to you? Like, be aware of how you receive communication and how you want to give communication as well. So that's your invitation and that's your challenge. And we know that as you start talking, like, you'll see stuff actually start to happen that will benefit you and your teammates and everything around you. It's amazing. And all we have to do is open our mouth.
Yeah, so remember, as we finish this, communication is leadership in real time. Remember, we know each of you are a leader. It might not be the same way as somebody else on your team or in your family, but you are all leaders in your own way. And communication is what helps you become better. I love this picture. He's got his hands on his ears of like, I don't hear you. Well, I think in general, all of us need to be comfortable to speak up. There's a time and a place, and you can learn that difference of when I should and when I shouldn't. But speak up in a kind way, in an encouraging way, in a positive way. And as you do, I just reiterate what Shalyse said. You're going to see some incredible things happen for you, your team, and your life moving forward. And I promise it will help you be happier. You'll feel better because you're not stuffing it all in here. Share your thoughts, get to know your teammates, speak up, have fun with it. Be that loudest team. I will tell you, when teams figure that out and they have fun with it, that changes the whole energy in the gym. More people want to come watch you. You're going to get support from your peers, from family in the community, because it's a place and an environment people will want to come. It starts with this communicating to them when your games are. It's all about communication. So have fun with this. We're excited for you to take this challenge and don't just push it away. Don't just do it for one or two practice and be like, I'm done, moving on. No, build on it, become that team. So by the time you're a senior, and you are looking to go play at the next level or you're wanting to continue on with your collegiate career, you are known as a communicator and that will help you be another player that people will want to recruit or to have come play for them because you are a leader by how you communicate. So, thanks for joining us this week. We're excited to share more next week. Have a great week and we will see you guys later. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys.